They are one of the most effective predators. But how did these slow-moving predatory insects manage to conquer the world? This praying mantis insect. Praying mantises are a group of insects with about 2,500 species distributed worldwide. They come in a wide variety of shapes and sizes. They live mostly in tropical or subtropical regions, but some species live in temperate climates, such as in the north of the United States, Central Europe, and Siberia. But their closest relatives are not grasshoppers, but cockroaches. Such cockroaches are found almost all over the world. Their success in conquering the world stems from their hunting strategies. Be patient and wait. They wait for prey to approach and come within their range. They drag the prey before morning with their spiked front legs. To be an effective predator, as it is now, they have gone through 3 important evolutionary adaptations. The first adaptation is their eyes. Mantises have one of the best eyesight among all invertebrates' compound eyes. The compound eye in a praying mantis consists of thousands of omatidia, that is, separate receptors of vision. All the views obtained are a combination of inputs from omatidia located on the convex surface, which are directed in different directions. They find their prey by looking. Their compound eyes contain up to 10,000 omatidia. A small area in the front, called the fovea, has greater visual acuity than the rest of the eye and can produce the high resolution needed to examine potential prey. These compound eyes are perfect for detecting the movement of each omatidium, creating a very small part of the image, like the pixels in a computer monitor's brain. They then combine all those pixels into one full image. Surely you noticed that mantises always seem to stare at us with their pupils. Viewed from any angle, they seem to be staring. It turned out that the black spot in their eyes was not a pupil. The black spot on each eye that moves when turning its head is a pseudopodia. This happens because the omatidia seen directly absorb the incident light, while those on the sides reflect it. Make their eyes superior to almost all invertebrates. Their vision is very accurate, so the researchers studied their eyes for the development of a prototype 3D camera. Mantises cannot hear well, and they rely heavily on their eyes. Therefore, due to hunting, they are very dependent on vision. Locusts are mainly diurnal. However, many species fly at night and then are attracted to the lights. This belongs to the family Liturgicidae, which researchers collected at night and is dominated by male grasshoppers. This applies to most locusts, presents the assumption that night flights are very important for males in finding less mobile females by detecting their pheromones. Although their vision is one of the greatest adaptations, but at night, mantises have to adapt by relying on their other senses. Some mantises can hear with their stomachs. Some species, such as grasshoppers, can detect high-frequency sounds emitted by bats by using special organs in their stomachs. This helps them detect bats. If they are on a tree, bats approach. They jump to a relatively safe place on the ground. The second evolutionary adaptation is their main weapon, the thorny hand. Perhaps the most iconic part of the anatomy. Mantises have a pair of hands involved, and it is from these two limbs that mantises derive their name, praying mantis, because their poses look like they are praying. Uniquely, the most common species of mantis is the mantis religiosa, or locust, which is a very literal religious name. But I think this is a bit ironic, because supposedly their prey is the one who has to pray. There is more wow history than the name mantis in Greek. Namely, mentis means clairvoyant. This name was given by the ancient Greeks, as they believed that men had supernatural powers. Many myths and legends are associated with mentis because of their unusual posture and attitude, invoking prayer. They can remain motionless or sway back and forth with a raised head and outstretched forelegs. According to the myth of the brown mantis, saliva can cause blindness if exposed to the eye. When a mantis grips its prey, it pierces it with its sharp spines. These thorns are not just accessories, because their function is very crucial. The more the prey struggles to escape, the deeper the thorns penetrate the body. Once the prey is locked, they start eating. They don't even bother to kill the prey. Yes, they immediately eat their prey alive. That's why it's one of the best ways to enjoy fresh food while it's still fresh. This strategy helps them catch anything. Start from small prey to larger ones. With such a reputation, why do so many animals still seem to want to get close to these deadly predators? The answer relates to their third adaptation, mimicry. Generally, grasshoppers protect themselves with camouflage, most species being colored vaguely to resemble foliage or other backgrounds, both to avoid predators and to better ensnare their prey. Those that live on uniformly colored surfaces, such as bare ground or tree bark, are flattened dorsoventrally to remove shadows that may indicate their presence. Species from a different family called praying mantises are aggressive imitators. They resemble flowers enough to attract prey that comes to collect pollen and nectar. Some species in Africa and Australia can turn black after molting towards the end of the dry season. At this time of year, bushfires occur. This coloring allows them to blend in with the fire-ravaged landscape. After the second evolution of adaptation, they look like objects in their environment. This evolution helps them hide from predators and their prey. Some mantises look like vegetation. Some mantises look like dead leaves. The stick mantis looks like a tree branch. Leaf mantis resembles a living leaf. The tree mantis merges with the trees, and the ghost mantis looks like a green mustard leaf. They even sway randomly to mimic the movement of leaves swaying in the wind. If these mantises came together and formed a tree, we might not know that the tree is made of mantis. Mantis will avoid potential predators by hiding. But when hiding doesn't work, the mantis will fight back mantises feel threatened, they will open their front legs to make their bodies look bigger. Some species of mantis open their wings, and some species have patterns on their wings that are effective enough to scare away predators. Mantis also had a reputation as a cannibal. It started when scientists observed that, in a laboratory environment, female grasshoppers sometimes eat their males after mating. This behavior of cannibals is like a scourge for pioneering females. It's possible that the female has been starved for days. Sometimes the female mantis will eat their male after mating. Cannibalism can only happen when circumstances force it, a behavior needed for survival. Sex is exhausting. The mating season in temperate climates usually occurs in the fall, while in the tropics, mating can occur at any time of the year. To mate after courtship, males usually jump onto the female's back, grasping her chest and the base of her wings with their front legs. He then arches his abdomen to deposit the sperm in a special chamber near the end of the female's abdomen. The female lays between 10 and 400 eggs, depending on the species. On the outside, the ootheca will harden, giving a good protective structure to the eggs inside. The texture of ootheca is very similar to styrofoam. It may be in the period from 3 to 10 weeks, depending on the species. In temperate climates, the adult mantis cannot survive the winter, and its eggs go into diapause, hatching in the spring. As in the group of closely related insects in the superorder Dictyoptera, the mantis goes through 3 stages of life: egg, nymph, and adult. For smaller species, eggs can hatch in 4 weeks compared to 6 weeks for larger species. Nymphs may have a different color than adult nymphs, and their early stages often mimic ants. Locust nymphs outgrow as they molt their exoskeletons. Molting can occur 5 to 10 times before the adult stage is reached, depending on the species. After the last mold, most species have wings, although some species remain wingless or brachypterous, short-winged, especially in the female sex. The lifespan of grasshoppers depends on the species. Smaller ones can live 8 weeks, while larger species can live 6 months. Mantis is one of the most widely kept insects as a pet. Since the lifespan of a mantis is only about a year, people who want to keep a mantis often breed it. In 2013, at least 31 species were kept and bred in the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and the United States. In 1996, at least 50 species were known to be kept in captivity by members of the mantis study group. So the Mendes population has always been preserved, and it is not threatened with extinction. But on the other hand, this brave, effective predator must submit to human hands. Loss of freedom and the ability to study freely. Thank you for being loyal to this channel. If you like the discussion of Daily Dreamland, like this video and subscribe, because liking and subscribing to you will help the development of this channel. Follow the development of all the things that invite the curiosity of all of us. Thanks, and see you in the next episode. Thank you for being loyal to this channel. If you like the discussion of daily dreamland, like this video and subscribe, because liking and subscribing to you will help the development of this channel. Follow the development of all the things that invite the curiosity of all of us. Thanks, and see you in the next episode.